Hello, and welcome to Mean Street News. Mean Street News is here to provide accurate news to help citizens affect change in their local government and beyond. Being nice is overrated. It is time to be real. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. The time to step up and step in is now. So please come join me, Katie, over on Mean Street News to discuss Ohio politics and beyond. I hope to see you there. Hello, and welcome to Mean Street. Hello, and welcome to Mean Street News. I am Katie. If you're new here, thank you for joining us. And if you are coming back, welcome back. We're going to get right into it tonight. And where we left off is Willie Mincy's second interview on the day after Marsha Blakely and Floyd Epps murders. It was a very interesting episode. We learned a lot. We learned a whole lot, especially about the whole point in pinning these murders on what I call the New York boys and what are now known as the Ohio Four. But like I said, I want to start these episodes with you guys getting to know the Ohio Four, hearing from the Ohio Four, covering what's going on in their case, in the aspects of Lorain County before we get into the third recording tonight, which is going to be the beginning is Gwen Mincy, which is the sister of Willie Mincy. She is now coming into the fold. And the other half of the interview is Willie Mincy. And we don't have a date on it. I wasn't provided a date by Lorain Police. I can go back in. I went back in the police report and it wasn't listed in there. So I just know it was after Marsha Blakely's murder that the police report was said 8:15, 8:09, and 8:08, and I have all three of those. So this one, I'm not really sure, but I will figure that out in the future. But first, we're going to hear from Lenworth Edwards. It's a 3-minute little video from a documentarian while he was incarcerated, and they ask him questions about his innocence or guilt.
I just want to ask you bluntly, did you have anything to do with the murder of Marsha Blakely and Floyd Epps?
Nothing at all. As a matter of fact, I never even seen those people.
Do you have any factual knowledge whatsoever as to who might be responsible for their deaths?
Nothing at all, man. It's like one day I was walking down the street, the next day I'm in prison for murder.
Wow. Do you believe that any of your co-defendants might be in any way involved?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. They're not that type of people, man.
When you were interviewed back in 1991 by the police concerning the night in question, why did you refuse to speak about anything?
During that time, after that time, there was some drugs involved, so I didn't want to speak about no drugs. No, but it didn't have nothing to do with no murders or nothing like that. But I eventually, told them exactly what I was doing. And at first, I thought when they picked me up, it was just some, trying to scare me or something with some murder. I didn't even really know it was serious until I got indicted.
So because you didn't have the information that the police or officials wanted to hear, were you physically assaulted by them?
They was definitely trying to intimidate me.
If you knew anything about these murders, anything at all, would you tell us?
Absolutely.
Why do you think the police targeted you and your co-defendants?
Well, we was from out of town. You know, we brought dope into that community. So, you know,
It was kind of easy for them.
It was easy, yeah. Basically.
Do you have any theories as to what might have happened?
I mean, none at all.
When you were going to trial in 1991, when the witness got on the stand and admitted that he lied about everything he had claimed, how did that make you feel?
You know, like when this happened, I was 18, so I figured that, you know, I was going home. I figured I was going home, that this was over with, and, you know, that was it. I didn't know nothing about the law, so I just figured I was going home.
How did it make your grandmother and your family feel when this witness got on the stand and admitted he lied?
They know me, you know, and I made bad choices, but this is something that's totally out of my character. Really, they felt like I felt when they heard him say he was lying. They thought it was over too. So
William Avery Jr. in 2005 told a federal agent who it was that really committed the murder. What did you learn back then from what William Avery Sr. said to your grandmother?
What he told her was something about some money, something about giving her some money, that it was going to be his son or me, her son or my son, something, you know. If she was to give him some money, that he could make all this stuff go away or something.
Your first trial ended in a mistrial. How did that happen?
The witness, Avery, came to court, got on the stand and said that he lied throughout everything for the war money, and you know, and they granted a mistrial. Well, my attorney asked for a mistrial.
And his first trial was a mistrial because William Avery recanted his statement. Now, William Avery, we haven't really talked about him much because I don't really want to focus on him because I don't want to taint the investigation that we're doing now with the original, which I believe are the original suspects. And I believe is more likely suspects. I believe was the last person with her before she died. So, you know, William Avery was a addict. His dad was an informant, longtime informant, had worked with the police. He came in about a month and a half after the murders, and said that they had information. First, his dad came in when they said they couldn't take his information. Avery came in and he came up with this whole story that makes no sense based on Marsha Blakely's timeline, and we're not going over the story. He later, the day of the trial, he recanted, and what they did is in December, they threw him in jail for perjury, and he sat there until February. And then at the second trial, he went with the prosecutor's story, basically, and accused them of murder. Later on in life, he would sign an affidavit for Al Cleveland's private investigators saying that what he told them wasn't true. He told a Secret Service agent, an FBI agent. He recanted in court. When he recanted in court, he was thrown in jail. He was threatened with jail longer for perjury. So it was like basically him or them, and he chose himself. Now, I don't want to taint this with Avery yet. We're going to listen to Avery's recordings when I receive them. I've already put in a request for them, just waiting for those to get back. So I don't think he had anything to do. I don't think his dad knew who did it. I think his dad just felt guilty about this made up story that they did while they were crack addicts for drugs. I think our theory on Willie Mincy, and it's a theory. I'm not accusing him. I'm not saying it's allegedly based on investigative records, based on his own statements. But this is allegedly, so he's not been charged with anything. He's not guilty. I just want to make sure I say that. I think it was the boyfriend and the baby dad who was upset with her, who was the last one to be with her, who admitted that she carried a knife in her purse, who admitted that he went down to her house There's also somebody that you're going to hear in the next recording, not in this one, but the one tomorrow, that saw him outside of Marsha Blakely's house. That was never questioned. Yeah. So how did the Ohio 4 get brought back up into Lorain County? Lorain County prosecutor J.D. Tomlinson decided to approve a motion for a new trial, which then he would dismiss the charges. He did that in the Nancy Smith Head Start case. He brought that up after he lost the election, after he was accused of crimes that he didn't commit. I think he got, God's funny that way. He got a little taste of his own medicine, saw that, he himself could be wrongly convicted, took some time looking into this case, looked into it and decided to try before he left office to exonerate the Ohio 4. The new prosecutor, the one that won the election, Tony Sillo, who ran as a Republican, even though he was never a Republican, in 2023, he picked up a ballot. I can show you his voting record. He came into office. He was in the Lorain County prosecutor's office for 27 years, I believe, and he was the head of the criminal division unit. So Tony Sillo was never going to allow this case to get a fair shot because his best friend, John Rosenbaum, who he worked with for decades, who he has a close relationship with, and Dennis Will, who was the former prosecutor after Greg White, and Greg White, they're all buddy pals and good old boy system. He is not going to allow, unless he gets public pressure, I think, he's not going to give this case a fair shot, which is why we're doing what we're doing today. We're putting it all on the public. We're going to let you guys listen to these recordings. We heard last week what the lead detective said. And real quick, we're just going to play a quick clip of News Channel 5 talking about J.D. Tomlinson reopening this case. And then we're going to go to an article about Tony Sillo's comments about this case. And then after that, we're going to get into the third recording. But like I said, you guys, while we're doing these, I want to give you background information while we're listening to these recordings, give a little context.
Chance at freedom and clearing their names. 4 men were convicted of murder in 1991. They say they never committed. Well, now the county prosecutor wants to dismiss all charges. Caitlin McCarthy spoke with the attorney representing the 2 men.
Lorain County prosecutor J.D. Tomlinson filed a motion today to grant a new trial to these 4 men convicted of killing a Lorain woman back in 1991. He says if this motion is granted, he will move to dismiss all charges. How soon, potentially, could these men have their names cleared?
Hopefully, we are not going to have to wait too much longer. This is a pretty remarkable motion when the prosecution joins with the defense and asks a judge to vacate their convictions.
Attorney Josh Dubin represents Al Cleveland and John Edwards, 2 of the 4 men convicted of killing Marsha Blakely in Lorain County back in 1991. Dubin says Cleveland, Edwards, Benson Davis, and Lenworth Edwards has spent a combined more than 120 years in prison for a murder they did not commit.
I did 29 years and 4 months for a crime I had absolutely nothing to do with. I'm out, but I'm still living the nightmare.
I try to be forgiving. I try to get past it. Yeah. But, damn, I'm mad, man.
On Monday, Lorain County prosecutor J.D. Tomlinson filed a motion to give these 4 men a new trial. He says at the heart of these convictions was the testimony of a key witness whose credibility completely unraveled.
You know, that's critical because it's the only evidence that tied these men to the crime.
Dubin says these men have suffered far too long and are hopeful they will see justice soon.
There were one thing I hope people take away is that police, prosecutors, defense, we're all imperfect. And I would hope that what people take away from this is that you never, ever, ever stop fighting when you know that the truth is on your side.
In Lorain County, Caitlin McCarthy, 19 News.
Unfortunately, the first thing Tony Sillo did was move to dismiss the motions that were filed by the former prosecutor. Even the Attorney General, David Yost, got involved, wrote a letter to a judge, Chris Cook, Loved Chris Cook's response to the Attorney General, which we shared in previous episodes. So go back. But ultimately, they did not schedule a trial date till after January. And the first thing Tony Sill did, first order of business, was to dismiss the new motions. And our new county common pleas judge Bremke ruled in favor of it, which she would have done anyways. It was the prosecutor requesting something, But what I do want to look at is what Tony Sill's comments were in December after he won the election, after before he took office, and Detective Taliano, who was the detective at the time of this case. And give me 1 second. We're sharing this screen. I gotta read this phrase. Got to put on my readers. Come on, get bigger. Okay, so we gotta go down a little bit. So at first, Tony Sill says a veteran prosecutor, assistant attorney general, veteran assistant prosecutor for Lorain County, who's head of the criminal division for a while, and assistant Ohio attorney general, Lorain County prosecutor-elect Tony Sill, said he doesn't understand Tomlinson's haste to act after having 4 years to do something. If you're so comfortable, parentheses, that the defendants are innocent, why wouldn't you worry about someone revealing it? Sill said Wednesday. That's what we're doing now, Tony. So I know we're friends on Tony Sill is friends with Mean Street News. So if he's on Facebook, he's seeing this, and I hope you're watching. I hope you're watching these, because we're going over the case for you. If you're so comfortable, whatever. Anyways, he said the transcripts need to be reviewed, witnesses need to be re-interviewed, and the victim's family members consulted before the case could be put before a judge. Even then, I don't think the judge can sign off on it. I think there has to be hearings, Tony Sill said. Yeah, whatever, Tony. So why now? JD said, I was, and JD didn't just have the Elyria municipal case. He had 3 other cases going on. It wasn't just that case with the same charges. So, but it's under seal, so we can't say that for a fact, but it was the same charges. And he was in the appeals court. It was crazy. It was absolutely insane. And there's a book. So I already wrote it. But it was insane. Election interference out the ass. It was crazy. But he got wrongfully convicted. He got wrongfully accused. He wasn't convicted, but he got wrongfully accused of 3 felonies. And I think that scared him. I think that opened his eyes a little bit. And, the previous year he was being attacked. I mean, you all saw, the newspapers. So later Sill reacts. He said, Sill said he hasn't read all the transcripts for the 4 murder trials, all of which took place before he became assistant Lorain County prosecutor in 1995 and moved to the criminal. He said he would look at, 1995, Tony Sill's been in that office since good old boys club. He said he would look at the whole case, what the law is, whether the case meets elements for a new trial and possible dismissal and similar issues. He didn't. First thing, he's a liar. First thing he did was go in and move to dismiss the motion. There's no evidence I've seen. Tony, like I said, you're friends with Mean Street News. I noticed I already took the screenshot too, so I proved it. You're friends with Mean Street News. You should absolutely be watching these because we're doing it for you. Asked if he thinks the 4 men did the crime, Tony Sill said he doesn't know. He doesn't have access to the case files. He hasn't read the transcripts. Blase, blase, blase. He said 4 juries said they did this and listened to evidence independently, and that's how the system works. He said, so I don't understand the rush. This has been reviewed by many courts, 4 different juries in a matter of weeks. And in a matter of weeks, Tomlinson said every blank wrong and we're right. I don't know what that says because it blocked it. So then the former detectives weigh in. Former police detective chief, detectives Gino Taliano and Richard Zendes, who investigated the murder, said Wednesday that they believe the defendants are 100% guilty. 100%. Gino Taliano said, I gotta do this. Gino Taliano said they were 100% guilty. 100%. Okay. 100%. You're right. You're Gino Taliano, 100%. Detective Taliano, former Detective Taliano, 100%. Let's see what Gino Taliano said last episode about what these boys' master plan was.
Because these people have this master plan in their mind, what they want to do down there about controlling it with drugs and guns and taking over, get rid of the locals. Right, one person. Because these people have this master plan in their mind, what they want to do down there about controlling it with drugs and guns and taking over, get rid of the locals. Right. So these people have this master plan in their mind, what they want to do down there about controlling it with drugs and guns and taking over, get rid of the locals. Right. So the thing is, this master plan in their mind, what they want to do down there about controlling it with drugs and guns and taking over, get rid of the locals. Right. So the thing is, a few years ago, the boys from Detroit tried that. We got rid of them. Right. Now the guys from New York, Queens move in. Now we just got to get rid of them. Every time somebody local from Detroit tried that, we got rid of them. Right? Now the guys from New York, Queens move in. Now we just got to get rid of them. Every time somebody local from Detroit tried that, we got rid of them. Right? Now the guys from New York, Queens move in. Now we just got to get rid of them. Every time somebody
one more time,
those boys from Detroit tried that, we got rid of them. Right? Now the guys from New York, Queens move in. Now we just got to get rid of them. Every time somebody.
And we're going to use your friend's murder to do it. That's why they framed them. They don't care about Marsha Blakely. They didn't care about Marsha Blakely's murder. They didn't care about Floyd Epps' murder. That's why his murder's still unsolved. They cared about running the New York guys that were coming in and stepping on locals' toes out of the area.
Detroit tried that.
Just like the Detroit boys.
About controlling it with drugs and guns and taking over, get rid of the locals. Right. So the thing is, a few years ago, the boys from Detroit tried that. We got rid of them. Right? Now the guys from New York, Queens move in. Now we just got to get rid of them. Every time somebody local. Do you have those guys' names? Which guy?
You know, he's talking to a crackhead, by the way, there. And like, if you've been here before, you know that Marsha Blakely, Gwen Mincy was not doing well back then. And we also know that Willie Mincy didn't sound well back then. He sounded just like a sister, but that's just my inference. It's my assumption is that he was an addict as well. And he was the one that was last with her. Her time of death is after 3 a.m. Detective Taliano knows that. Detective Taliano is the one that pushed them towards the New York story. Remember, he has 5 stories. He has was the last one with her, keep a bunch of other evidence if you've been paying attention. If not, go back the next 2 episodes and listen to his interviews. It's insane. It's literally the definition of insanity. We got tape stopping, tape starting, news stories, crumpling up paper. I mean, it's insane. Admitting that Marsha had a knife on her, saying that he didn't see it that night, but then saying it was in her purse that night. Last one with her, white station wagon didn't exist. Somebody saw her outside. It didn't take a genius to know that the boyfriend, and it's a crime of passion. Her neck was slit. Floyd Epps' neck was slit. His head was smashed by a car. She had 25 torture-like stab wounds. That is personal. Nobody's doing that over a $5, $10 crack bag. That's just not a thing. But Detective Taliano needed to move these New York boys out. Remember? That's what he needed to do. So that's how he did it. Let's go back to this. It just makes me so mad. It just makes me absolutely just livid. So he said, so the detectives, they say she's, sorry, my readers again, I'm going to be going like this. Former Lorain Police Detective Janet Taliano and Rich Resendez, who investigated the murder, said Wednesday they believe the defendants are 100% guilty. 100% guilty. Bottom line is this. There were 4 separate jury trials. Each of the defendants, competent attorneys, all the testimony was the same in all 4 trials, which 4 of those men were convicted. Not 1, but 4 times, Taliano said. 4 times. and with no physical evidence and no physical evidence. And with the main witness is a crackhead that you paid thousands of dollars to back in the 90s. That was a lot of money back in the 90s, thousands of dollars to give testimony. And once he recanted, you threatened to throw him in prison. You threatened to throw him in jail. He actually held him in jail for months, until an FBI agent got a hold of you and you broke. And then he complied because he got threatened by not only the prosecutor, but the judge to be thrown in jail if he recanted. It was similar to them. But later, told a Secret Service agent, told a private detective that, they didn't do it. All right, we got to get this. So I'm gonna hurry. And I'm not making that many comments during this recording today, so it'll be good. Tomlinson has just chosen for some reason to discount it all of it for his own, whatever that says. Doing so could cost the county millions and millions of dollars in wrongful conviction lawsuits, Taliano said. Maybe because if they find out you did something illegal here, Taliano, that you knew that they weren't guilty, maybe you're in trouble personally. Honestly, I don't know. My appeal to them is have a fucking conscience, because one day, regardless of if these men get out now, regardless if whatever happens, that you're going to meet your maker one day. And I would not want to go to my maker with this on your conscience. I wouldn't. But if you don't worry about burning in hell, that's on you. Maybe you like it. Appeals to federal system also failed, Resendez noted. That's the system we live in. I believe they did it. I don't agree with one person reviewing it and saying, no, they didn't do it, so vacate. The conviction, he said, I'm in disagreement with this action. My position is that the investigation provided justice for all four of the convicted men, and most importantly, the victim, Marsha Blakely, and her family. What about Floyd Epps, Taliano said? What about Floyd Epps? What about the 47-year-old black man who wasn't a drunk guy, just a drunk, but he was a nice drunk. He was the friendly drunk. He let people stay at his house. They were in a bad way. He was letting Marsha stay at his house. Avery was, as Rosamund described, a lying thug. Even Avery was the witness. Avery was the witness. And the prosecutor, the assistant prosecutor that prosecuted the crime, saying that he was a lying thug. And police and the prosecutor hid that, Taliano said. But Avery had information about the crime that corroborated information Lorain police had known weeks earlier. How'd you know it weeks earlier? Because you talked to the real killer? You made up the story? How'd you know? Because anyways. Willie Mincy also ran from the police when they showed up to his house to inform him Marsha was dead after Mary Jane Gonzalez said, you need to question this guy. It drives me nuts. I mean, it's like, but yeah, get rid of the New York boys. You know the saying, conspiracies conceived in hell are rarely witnessed by heaven. Taliano told the reporter, ooh. Taliano, if you are so worried about heaven, I don't think with 4 souls, and I think you have more souls, because I know anyways, I think you have more. This should weigh heavy on your conscience. On your deathbed, you should be worried for what you did in this case. God help your soul. That's all I'm going to say. And Resendez, God help you. God literally help you, because I don't think gates are opening with this on your conscience. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know how you live this long doing this. Now chief of operations in Tomlinson's office, Resendez said he had no part in trying to move to get the cases dismissed. I have not conferred with anybody, Resendez said. I have not said a word to anybody regarding this. In response, Tomlinson said he asked to speak to Resendez about the case, and Resendez declined. Resendez and Taliano both said that there was new evidence. He'd be happy to review it. You should listen to these tapes. You should listen to yourself, Detective Taliano. You should listen to yourself. You should listen to your own tapes, your own interviews. You don't remember the interview? You don't remember coming up with this story? You don't remember saying sorry during the interview after you wrote something down for him, for the crackhead? You don't remember that? They committed to no misconduct but relied on a shaky witness, said Tomlinson said. Bullshit, JD. Anyways, I've had former Lorain police detectives text me and support me in what I'm doing, said Tomlinson, who declined to disclose the names of those former detectives. This is not a controversial for many people because it shouldn't be. Now, here are all the articles from the Chronicle about JD Tomlinson, by the way. If you guys don't think he's a tap, look at JD Tomlinson, look at all this. It's fucking, it's all about JD. 1 year. Fucking crazy. Now, Gino Italiano knew he was going to do this from the beginning. How do I know that? How do I know Gino Italiano was going to do this from the beginning? Let's pull up the first article that was written about it, okay? So he had talked to the boyfriend. Boyfriend, as we know from the last 2 episodes, told them that he was with her last, okay? He was with her last, took her purse. She was fighting with her, okay? Was fighting with her, that he should have never gone down there. He had a panic attack, started crying. I should have never gone down to the house. They should have called her. Why? Because you ended up getting mad and killing her. Lied about a white station wagon that he said she was in. All right. That's 5. Said he went in Floyd Epps' house, but he didn't go in Floyd Epps' house. But he went in Floyd Epps' house, but he didn't go in Floyd Epps' house. Okay. The night of the murder. And Floyd Epps did not like him. Did not like him at all. And not Charlton, Leonard Walker admits that during trial. Admits that Marsha carried a knife on her. He knew that she carried a knife on her purse all the time, on her person. But that night he didn't see it. And then he said, oh, this purse that, by the way, Detective Italiano never fingerprinted. Never got tested for anything. And they said, no, a knife like this. And he even showed him a knife that he had. Why didn't Detective Italiano take that knife that Willie Mincy had and test it to see maybe if that was the knife he used to slit their throats? And more. And then made up the Colombian Bam Bam drug dealers next door. Didn't know anybody. I mean, like, I'm running out of hands. Like Chris is saying, I'm running out of hands. I need to start with my toes. My toes. Going back to the Van Zandt interview, my toes. And this is how he knew he was going to set him up the whole time. First article written about this, okay? Sex, drug, angles, eyed, and slangs. Man 47 crushed. And I'm not going to read this whole thing, just a couple things. The first thing Captain Rivera said is he was a harmless drunk. There was no reason to kill him. And then Captain Rivera said we had somebody else tell us she doesn't go to bars, okay? So this whole Shakim got in a fight with Marsha Blakely at the bar over some drug debt bullshit is bullshit because she didn't go to the bars. Even Willie Mincy admits they didn't go to the bars. Homicide's a crime of passion, he said. Crime of passion. Well, nobody's passionate about a $5 crack rock or a $10 crack rock. Or it's not a thing. These boys from New York were moving weight. They weren't concerned about a crackhead. And no offense to Marsha Blakely, she was just an addict at the time. It's not a derogatory. It's just what she was. A lot of times drug related, and we're losing that battle too. There's so much money on it, and in little consequences. It's so competitive. An informed source theorized that she now. This is a couple of days after. This is a day or so after the murder. They already had this narrative. An informed source theorized that she may have become involved in a drug war. A drug war. The girl that was prostituting, boosting steaks from the grocery store. And doing whatever else was part of a drug war. A drug war between rival suppliers. And later, Italiano will say between Detroit, the boys that, remember, he got rid of, Detroit, and New York. But they got rid of the Detroit boys, and now they're getting rid of the New York boys. So how is there a rivalry going on if you already got rid of them? Drug war between rival suppliers seeking control of the neighborhood near the low-income housing complexes across from Levitt Road from the shopping center. Yeah. And that William Mabry we talked about. Actually, I'm going to wait for that till tomorrow. Let's get into this interview. Okay. So there's our beginning. At the end of this, you're going to hear, after the end of all these recordings that we're about to listen to, you guys are going to hear Again, we're going to close this episode with Cleveland and Len Edwards, but Tony Silla was never reopening this case. He was never going to give it a fair shot. And the two detectives that investigated it said they were 100% guilty. But we know from listening the last 2 days that's not true. That's not true, and that they had the killer. I believe they had the killer. Okay, so like I said, it's an unknown date. We don't know the date because it wasn't provided to me, but we always know it was at Marsha Blakely's funeral at some point, and we are going to get into that tonight. And like I said, I'm not talking much through this one because first you heard the first 3 minutes already because, you know, these people are running drugs and guns and all this other stuff. So I'm just going to kind of let you guys listen tonight, except super, super important things that we have to talk about. But I do want to talk about is the zoing noise. Remember I told you guys in the first 2 interviews, there was like these weird, like when he wasn't answering right, you heard like the only way I can describe it is like a door knocker. You know those door knockers are the spiral ones where you hit it and you hear zwing, zwing. You hear that throughout this entire interview when questions aren't being answered. I feel like my inference is when questions aren't being answered the way that they're supposed to be being answered. But that is just my assumption. And here we go. Share audio. Share. Here we go. And let's get into this.
Yeah, that's not important. Like this thing about Tim Blakely. Now that might be very important. He may say that, well, he heard it from somebody else, but until we start running this stuff down,
all those people,
how are we supposed to know who knows what's important? But you know, we're gonna be putting a $2,000 reward on for the arrest and indictment of these people, and so we're hoping, you know, I mean, I'm not saying it's just because of the money, but obviously money doesn't hurt either. And we do want these people very bad. Like I said, I don't care where these people came from, Floyd and Marsha, but they have a right to live. Anyway, they chose to live.
Anybody did.
And you don't do things like that to people. And the things are scary. See, people out there have to, you know, a lot of people, one guy told me, this is the 90s, you know, you don't talk, you know. I said, well, the thing is, they're not going to stop at just one person.
These
people have this master plan in their mind, what they want to do down there, about controlling it with drugs and guns and taking over, get rid of the locals. Right. So the thing is, a few years ago, the boys from Detroit tried that. We got rid of them. Right? Now the guys from New York, Queens move in. Now we just got to get rid of them. Every time somebody local.
But do you have those guys' names?
So, which guys?
The ones from New York.
Well, I don't know. You have.
Now the tape cut is every time you hear somebody local and then he cut the tape, you hear that click, you cut tape. Okay, at 2:12-minute mark, if you want to go back, 2:12-minute mark when I publish these, if you want to go back. And then it opens up with, do you have those guys' names? So I want you guys to keep in your mind, she's asking, do you have those guys' names? Because later in the interview, she all of a sudden knows what their names. And then at the end of the interview, she forgets them again. It's so very weird.
You have some names for us?
No, the girl Tawana know all their names. She know the kind of car they drive and everything.
Yeah.
Tawana Moore, yeah, she's young, 15. She lived right in the project. She had trouble with her mom, you know, that had wrecked her mom's car. Got her mom's car wrecked. And because she told me that one, she said they drive a little tan car. And she said it'd be over by a Nan's house all the time. So what I'll do is I'll get the names from her and give you all those too.
Okay.
And
you call me anytime.
And get the car and find out what kind of car it is they drive, and you know.
Start writing everything down, and I'll even stop by and pick it up, or you can call me and I'll do whatever you want me to do. But we got to go find it.
I'll call you because that way, you know, because in case I don't have it all, and you know.
Call me. And you got my card, right?
No.
I gave it to your mommy, bro. I give you one.
I know, but see, I gave the card to that girl Sharon when you told me to have her call you.
Franklin?
Yeah.
Sharon Franklin?
Mm-hmm.
She never called me.
She didn't.
No.
I believe she just yapping anyway. I don't know.
Okay. Wasn't Sharon supposed to see her down by the bar by 1:30 or so?
Sharon's sister talked to her for a long time. Sharon's sister Jennifer did talk to Marsha because she was at the funeral. I seen her. She said that they walked through from the projects to the bar with Marsha. You know.
They see him talking to Shakim or her talking to Shakim.
She said she left, and then it was her and Jennifer. They was walking towards the bar. That's when she last left. Marsha gets to come on home, but her and Jennifer went on towards the bar. So
Jennifer Franklin.
yeah.
You know where she stays?
On 13th Street.
Who's she live with?
She stayed with her mom. I don't know why, but I just keep feeling like, you know, y'all should keep an eye on Shakim still.
Well, we haven't given up. We're not about to give up. I mean, this guy, it's not like he got a traffic ticket. I mean, we're talking murder.
Because I believe that he knows something.
So she didn't know a couple seconds ago, like 2 minutes ago, who these New York guys were, right? Then you hear this heavy-handed writing on this notepad, right? And then she's talking about how she was heading towards the bar. She ignored the Shakim thing. Then you hear this notebook, you hear this writing, heavy writing. You all heard it. I heard it. And then she says, I don't know why, but you just still keep on Shakim. I did not know his name 2 minutes ago, but now it's just, I know.
Well, see, the thing is, for us to bring him in, I want to know something more than he knows. See, otherwise, what's he going to tell me? What do you think Shakim's going to tell me?
He's going to tell you nothing.
That's right.
But he knows something.
Unless we know more than he thinks we know, right?
His girlfriend knows something too, but she's not going to say anything.
Nan?
Yeah.
You got any other girls out there?
Shakim,
you got any other girls out there besides
Nan? He be messing around.
Anybody particular?
Mr. Rice told me he's seen him come in a bar with another girl, but I don't know.
You know a girl named Dalton?
Dalton.
Gina Dalton.
Gina Dalton, her name sounds.
She works at Lorain National Bank over there.
Probably if I seen her.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for coming down, Gwen.
I hope it helped a little because.
Well, it's going to help because you're going to find that junk name, at least give me the address.
Yeah.
And the license plate number. And then you said something about maybe coming up with some names.
Yeah.
Shakim's running with over there.
Yeah, the ones from New York. It's 4 of them. Right. 4 or 5 of them. So.
Yeah. Okay then.
He told me. Okay.
Did you just hear that? There's those guys from New York, there's 4 or 5 of them. She doesn't know Shakim's name now. She doesn't know. She's not putting 2 and 2 together, even though Shakim had been out there for 3.5 years at this point. 3.5 years. So he knew well aware, everybody knew who Shakim was. So, but if I-51, 7 seconds ago, he said, yeah, 4 or 5 of them because he told me. Because who told? Not she, not Tawanda. And she didn't say she, because he told me. Because he told me. Yeah, I know. Because he told me. Listen real quick. I'm going to hit play, and it's going to be literally 2 seconds in. Actually, I'm going to go back a little bit to me. They're do the 10 seconds in.
Name, at least give me the address.
Yeah.
And the license plate number. And then you said something about maybe coming up with some names.
Yeah.
Shakim's running with over there.
Yeah, the ones from New York. It's 4 of them. Right. 4 or 5 of them. So.
Yeah. Okay then.
He told me. Okay.
Right there, because he told me. Because he told me. Not she, not because she told me, not because Tawanda told me. Because he told me. Who is that? Resendez or Taliano? The ones that are 100% sure of these men's guilt, even though they told her to get them the name of the New York boys that she didn't know. Then she knew Shakim's name, then she didn't know. Because he told me.
Yeah,
Shakim's running with over there.
Yeah, the ones from New York. It's 4 of them. Right. 4 or 5 of them. So.
Yeah. Okay then.
He told me. Okay.
All right then.
I was at the wake.
Now we're getting into Willie Mincy's part of the interview on the same day. And like you said, he was at the wake. So we know this interview took place sometime after her wake. And we are going to talk about the random man that just approached him and told him a story. But they never asked who this guy was.
I was at the wake Monday night. This guy came up to me and he told me, he said, I heard the story and stuff. He said Shakim and Shakim told the Cubans something, told the Cubans Marsha was snitch or something.
Mm-hmm.
Cubans Marsha.
Who's saying this though?
This boy, I don't know what the fuck is that. I don't know.
Yeah. What about Shakim? How's he tied into Marsha? She owe him any money?
She owed him some money or something. That's
how much did she owe him?
I don't even know.
How do you know she owed him money?
Okay. Mine's foggy right now, but let me think about it. With all the talk going around, that's probably why I'm picking this up.
So Taliano asks him, what about Shakim? And again, why is Taliano always the one talking about Shakim? It's like he had a hard-on for him or something. We never have these witnesses saying Shakim out of their mouths until Taliano says, what about Shakim? And then he says, I don't know. How do I know this? I don't even know how I know this. Maybe probably because of the streets. The streets.
Information up that she owed him some money and she got to argue with him at the bar. That's what they say. And she was arguing with him at the bar that night or something.
Inside or outside the bar?
I guess it would be outside because I don't ever know. I ain't never known Marsha to go to the bar myself.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never known her to go to the bar myself. But okay, there's Shakim, Troy, and this other guy.
Shakim who?
Shakim, Troy. And this other guy, I can't remember what the name was.
Who's Troy?
I don't know. I guess it's one of them guys from New York.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another name that I can't remember right now. But I can go back out there and find out that name.
Mm-hmm. What about Shakim and Troy though?
Well, they said that I guess them were the three that did it, I guess.
This is for somebody told you that specifically, or just the word out?
Just the word out. And
so just a time frame. This is probably about a week and a half after, whatever. William Avery, their lead witness in this entire investigation, didn't even exist anymore. And somehow this story about Shakim, this unknown person named Troy, Willie Mincy heard that they did this crime. But Taliano's in the paper at that point, in the paper at that point, saying we don't have any witnesses at this point. We don't have any leads at this point. And for some reason, nobody's ever been like, it was probably the last person to see her alive that admitted to seeing her alive. They admitted to be fighting with her right before he saw her alive. To me, having a baby and her baby dad being mad at her for all the shit she's doing. And once again, Taliano wants to know about Shakim. He doesn't want to know about all the other shit. He wants to know about Shakim.
Well, yeah.
Did you know? Did she ever tell you that she owed Shakim some money?
No. She didn't. She wouldn't tell me nothing like that because she know I'd be fussing. She know I'd be fussing about that kind of shit.
So have you ever told? Does she owe anybody money? Show Shakim money? Yeah, show Shakim money. Do you know why she owes Shakim money? I have no idea. Well, do you know how much money she owes him? No, I have no idea. Well, no, she wouldn't be owing anyway. She wouldn't be telling me any of that because she'd be mad. But I thought she just told you. I don't mean to keep stopping it, but I'm just. Do you see where his story is all over the place?
That's the word out. And Well, yeah.
How did you know? Did she ever tell you that she owed Shakim some money?
No. She didn't. She wouldn't tell me nothing like that because she know I'd be fussing. She know I'd be fussing about that kind of shit.
Is this something you just heard on the street?
Yeah.
You know who these guys from New York are?
I know.
What about these Cubans? Do you know who these Cubans are?
They said it was living on the end of my cousin, and I was over my cousin's house yesterday. She said there is some guys that look like Cubans or look like Jamaicans.
Where?
They look like Cubans or Jamaicans. They come over this girl's house. This girl that used to stay, you know.
Cubans or Jamaicans.
What's her name? What is her name? Delilah. She stays on the corner end of the house.
When you say stays where? On the drive?
No, that's, I guess, you know, right there across the street from that car wash.
Yeah.
Right there in that corner.
On 20th Street there?
I guess that's
well,
there's 20th, yeah.
Here's how Lorain Drive is. And then here's 20th, here's the car wash. And then you know Lorain Drive continues.
Right across the street.
Well, here's the car wash.
Yeah.
On the corner. So are you saying across the street?
No, right here. These apartments right here. My cousin stays right here.
Well, here's the car wash, and here's left. Here's left.
I'm talking about not that car wash on that side of 11. The car, you know, where they clean the cars on this side.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Here's look, here's Lorain Drive. You know, it comes here.
Okay.
And you can continue. This is 21st. All right.
Okay.
So if you come in Lorain Drive here, you drive around. Here's the office and that, but you keep coming around, and then you can come back on the 21st, so you can hook it down here, and this is towards, you know, left.
Okay, these apartments right here on this side.
Okay, so when you say apartment, you're talking about those duplexes.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Because here's the car wash on the corner.
Okay.
All
yeah.
Right. So Delilah stays over there.
She stays on this corner, and the house on this end, I guess, on the house on the inside is the house that she says there'd be Cuban guys going over that. They used to go over the house. I think. What do you say that house? What they say that girl's name was? Nan or something like that.
Nan? You don't mean Patricia Brown, do you?
I don't know.
That's Nan.
I think my cousin said Nan.
His cousin said Nan. Why is he asking them? What did those people say that her name was? What people? What people said her name was what? And Patricia Brown is the is that his baby mom? This is hold on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's notary Patricia. Yeah, she'll hold on. Sorry, I'm doing notes right now for this case. I have it in front of me, so I want to make sure I'm doing this. Yeah, Patricia Brown is his baby mom, because I got a letter right here from Patricia Brown saying that Shakim was with her the entire day before and all night, and was sleeping at her house during the time that the coroner said Marsha Blakely would have been murdered. So here's that. More evidence. There's a statement her saying no one ever questioned me about this case. Probably should have, since that was the last person was Shakim, one of the four, you know. But why is he asking them? Who are they? What did they tell me? It's very weird. Very weird indeed.
And I don't remember.
Who's this Delilah then?
She stays right on the corner. They was telling me that I was asking them
was it Delilah friends with these Cubans?
No.
Oh,
she don't have nothing to do with it.
Right.
They was just giving me directions to where these Cubans were going.
Oh, I understand. So about where this Delilah lives, that's where these two Cubans are going.
Yeah, they was coming over. They were coming over fast, and they said my cousin was telling me they had dreadlocks in their hair, and they had long braids and shit, and they were real. That's what she was telling me and stuff.
Mm-hmm. They look more black then, I'm assuming. I'm not telling you, I'm asking you, because Jamaicans, you know, they're black, but they got long braids.
Yeah, I forget what she said. I mean, we was having a long conversation about it.
Sure.
And then my cousin come back, and he said he was out there just 5 minutes, and he said something about Shakim, and those other two dudes from New York. They were running from the police that night or something. Said they were running from the police that night or something, and they threw the dope out. And Marsha come by and picked the dope up. That's what they was telling me. That's what he was telling me. And I guess they got it or something. I don't know. I'm hearing
Nobody actually saw that, did they?
No.
We're just talking, right?
We're just talking. I'm just hearing all kinds of shit.
Sure. Okay, I want to ask you something. Would you be willing to take a polygraph test?
So last month there. Then he didn't know. Then she just went home, went to sleep. Then it was next door neighbors of the Colombian Bam. Then it was the Detroit boys. Then it was this guy named Glenn. Then it was guy named Glenn. Then we got these Jamaican Cubans, Jamaicans with dreadlocks that looked black, looked Cuban. We don't really know, right? And then we got the New York boys. So we're running, like I said, we're running out of fucking hands. This one. But then I found it really interesting what he just said. He said the night his cousin came back and said there's about 5 minutes something, she came in and those other two dudes from New York were running from the police, threw their dope out. Marsha picked it up. So now we got a new story we got to add to the story list of Willie fucking Mincy.
Yeah. Not as a suspect in a murder, obviously. But after talking to Captain Revere, he thinks that maybe you're holding something back. Information. Because nobody knew her better than you. Would you be willing to take a polygraph?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check, and we'll do it right here at the station. I mean, you don't have to go, but we'll set up a date, and then I'll let you know. Like I said, it's not a question. We question your involvement in it, but I gotta tell you, nobody knew it better than you. I can't imagine you not. If anybody knew her business, you should have known it.
Marsha wasn't like that. She wouldn't tell me. She wouldn't tell me bad things because she know I'd be on her. She know I would be on her about that kind of stuff.
Well, let me run it by the captain and see what he says. But he wanted me to ask you if you'd be willing to take it.
It's no problem.
Okay.
No problem.
All right. And I gave your sister my card. She's got some, so she knows what she's got to do for him.
Okay. There's something else I'm going to say too.
Sure.
Your sister knows what she has to do. She knows.
It's no problem.
Okay.
No problem.
All right. And I gave your sister my card. She's got some, so she knows what she's got to do for him.
Okay. There's something else I'm going to say too.
Sure.
Okay. When I went back in the house, there would have been no way that I couldn't have seen Marsha going down the street because that's a long street. And I went in.
You know what's so funny is you hear that writing, pencil to paper, and you hear Willie Mincy pause. There's no way I would have. Oh, did he just try to, his reading comprehension is probably not that good. Probably takes him a minute to read something. Then he says it. It's just really interesting how that happens. Like you'll see pause. Oh no, I don't know. It's like when he did it with the Puerto Rican guys last interview. Oh, the Puerto Rican guys. No, the New York guys. No, they're New York guys. Oh, sorry, man. Then Italian went, sorry. He's like, huh? Oh yeah, it was the New York guys. That your sister now has a job to get me. Now this has to be like a week after that interview because it was after Marsha's wake. The story's completely changed.
Been in that house that long.
Right.
We're just not stay consistent.
There couldn't have been no way I couldn't see her going down the street sometime.
Your sister mentioned something about the guy across the street, white guy named Jeff. You know what Jeff's last name is?
No, I don't know.
She's gonna find out. I gotta talk.
Fuck yeah, we know who Jeff is. Fuck yeah, we know white boy Jeff. White boy Jeff is going to be fucking important coming up. White boy Jeff, he's threatening him right now. Taliano is threatening him right now because white boy Jeff is the last person to see who? Willie motherfucking Mincy in front of Epps' apartment arguing. And his sister's going to confirm that because she's a crackhead in her fucking story. She starts getting mad because she doesn't want to be sitting there anymore. And she starts telling the truth. And she said, I've been drinking with this guy Jeff, white boy Jeff. And if white boy Jeff sees this, or anybody knows who white boy Jeff is that lived across the street from Marsha Blakely, I need his name because it's not written out in the police report. But he saw them arguing. And then do you know what else he saw, which is really funny? He saw Marsha Epps leave the front of her house, walk away, and then he saw a car trolling behind her. And then there was a guy outside of the car. As the car's trolling behind her, there's a guy walking really fast towards Marsha. That was probably Willie fucking Mincy. And it was so funny when he saw it, they had just been arguing out front. And she left. He followed. And then the car that was with Willie Mincy, apparently, probably the car he ran into on his way over there on his bike, the car that his sister then is going to go on to describe tomorrow in fucking detail and say it's always parked here, that nobody ever fucking mentions. And even says who the car owner is. But white boy Jeff saw that night, that arguing, her leaving. He said it was late. And he keeps telling Gwen Mincy this, that he keeps seeing that car that he saw that night. He keeps seeing it down the street. The one that she's so concerned about. And white boy Jeff, if you are out there, we need to know who the fuck you are. Because you're the last person to see her. And you saw her getting trolled by a car. And another guy walking really fast towards her, who he assumed was Willie motherfucking Mincy. Oh, makes more sense there. She was run over. And he was probably with, I wonder what they're fighting about. But white boy Jeff, Gwen Mincy's going to tell you tomorrow, is the last person, is a person that saw them that night outside Epps' house arguing. And she told Chip from the first interview of Willie Mincy, she told Willie Mincy, do not come down to Floyd Epps on that shit. On what shit? He mad, huh? Mad. Crime of passion. Slitting somebody's neck, stabbing him 25 times with a little knife. And whatever else he fucking did to her, she was already beat up. Her face was fucked up. So he was already with her. Probably mad she just turned a trick. Probably wanted some money for some more crack. White boy Jeff. Saw her. Sees the car. Kept telling Gwen. But white boy Jeff comes into the fucking fold.
Okay. Did you see it? You know, your sister mentioned something about the guy across the street, white guy named Jeff. You know what Jeff's last name is? No, I don't know. She's gonna find out. I gotta talk to him. Did you see any cars out there?
I wasn't paying attention to no cars out there because
when you were talking around the corner, almost at the corner there, by your mom's house. Did you see a car go by?
My mind blank. I
understand, but I'm asking.
Now all of a sudden you didn't see a car go by? But the first time you saw the white station wagon, what the fuck just happened? It was the second time you seen the white station wagon didn't exist. That some car didn't go by. You know how you got like real like you started mentioning Jeff? Yeah, because Jeff. I'd be too about Jeff. White boy Jeff saw them.
Maybe if somebody else mentioned it, might have triggered something where you may have seen a car. Because the only car you mentioned to me is when you down by Floyd's and you saw this white station wagon pulling out. But maybe she never got down that far.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's a long way.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
You couldn't have been in the house that long putting your shoes on. I know the bike.
Even if the bike did messed up, I would have seen her
straight shot.
I would have seen her straight down the road.
Right. So
she couldn't have went
you never saw or heard another car closer to your mother's house? How'd you get that purse back? Did you take that purse back?
Yeah, I took it.
Oh, pay close attention here. Remember I talked about he was the last person with her, had a fucking purse, said she always carried a knife on her, but the knife wasn't in her purse that night. Pay attention. Taliano's fucking concentrating. I'm like, oh, your story's not really lining up here. But why didn't he ever pursue it? Because he needed to get rid of the New York boys. You know, when drugs and guns, their master plan was getting in his way.
But she couldn't.
You never saw or heard another car closer to your mother's house? How'd you get that purse back? Did you take that purse back?
Yeah, I took it. I took it.
There was nothing in there but the cigarettes?
Cigarettes, that's it. When I was going back, I was taking the purse. The purse was rubbing up against the tire and shit, and the chain kept breaking and stuff. And when I got down there, I laid it in a chair first. And then I went around the house, checked. Maybe she went around here or something. Right. And then I come back and I said, well, fuck it, I'm not gonna leave this purse sitting out here. So I took it in the house. And
Oh, you're talking about when you said dreaming that couch outside on the underneath the overhang there? That's where you put the purse?
No, it was laying in the green chair. I laid it in the green chair at first when I got down there.
Yeah.
And I went around the building. That's when my fucking chain broke on the bike. So I come back around and I said, well, fuck, I ain't gonna leave it sitting out here. Fucking, I just take it in the house. And I laid it on the pillows and shit. And then I stood outside for, wait, no. Booby Walker might have been there. Damn. I just can't remember. It's all fucked up.
Walker, that's Leonard Walker?
Yeah.
Booby? Yeah, you seen him lately?
Yeah, he was at the funeral and he was over at her sister's house.
You talked to him at all about this?
Well, you know, we talked about it.
Sure.
We didn't talk nothing about who did it and all, because I don't know if he know. We talked about us being out there all night waiting on her and stuff, about me being out there all night waiting on her. Shit, he said we sat at the house all that day. About 7, you know, on and off and shit. But I'm kind of numb right now.
Sure. I understand. Okay, well, I'm gonna get you back at your mom. She spent more time down.
And that's where the end ends. This was our third interview. We got two more to go, but we're gonna finish them tomorrow. Sorry, I had a cough. But oh my god, sorry, I'm getting rid of a cold. I didn't want to cough in the mic on you guys. But what do you call it? Very interesting. You know, he brings up the purse, and then he talks about, you know, where he put the purse. Well, I put it on the chair, and then I put it in the house, and then I, you know, put it on her bed. I was the last one with her. White boy Job's coming up again. Saw her outside fighting with him. Saw somebody, you know, walking really fast after. Saw a car trolling them. Wonder what they were fighting about that night. Maybe Floyd Epps' murder. But like I said, Gino Italiano was very much against the reopening of this case, and I kind of see why. You know, these people running drugs and guns, and master plan taking over, getting rid of locals. We got rid of the Detroit boys, but then he says later in the paper, you know, it's a gang war between the Detroit guys in New York, but you know, the Lorain cops are taking both of those guys out. So I don't know what the fuck the issue is. Check Italiano, doesn't make any sense. Was it Nan? Was Nan Patricia Brown? The Patricia Brown here in the statement that says that they were together all night and the day before, Shakim and her. And like I said, it is not surprising to me that Shakim was here for 3.5 years. Al Clean was only out here for 6 months, but he was associated with Shakim. I'm going to leave you with a little video. It's about an hour. I'm going to leave you with a little video at the end. You're going to hear from Al Cleveland and Lenworth Edwards. Lenworth Edwards was the first one that was actually convicted. Like Shakim said last time, that's when they started taking this case seriously, because they didn't really think this was a thing. Real quick before I play a video. This was Marsha Blakely and Floyd Epps. Marsha Blakely's family, if you guys want, send me a better photo of her. Floyd Epps' family, if you have a better photo of him, I would love it. This is the only 2 photos I could absolutely find on the news, and that drives me crazy. This is an also reason, was not just the 4 that we're doing this for. I'm doing this for Marsha Blakely and especially for Floyd Epps, because his murder is unsolved, and she deserves to have her murder solved by someone who did it. She doesn't need the stain of 4 innocent African-American men that went to prison because they decided to sell crack in Lorain, Ohio in 1991. And the Lorain cops weren't happy about that. It was just like those New York boys coming in. But we're going to hear what Al and Lenny have to say after serving so much time.
My name is Al Cleveland, Alfred Cleveland, ALFRED, CLEVELAND, one of the Ohio 4. Served 26 years in prison for a crime I didn't commit, nothing to do with. Not quite sure how we got here, how we were picked out and all that stuff. I got 17 grandkids, 5 kids, and I just want to move on with my life.
That's right.
And put this past us
right.
and our families, the victims' families, putting them through this. I lost my sister when I was young. I know how it is to get put through this. I'm sorry to the families for having to keep enduring this, but this is an injustice. This is something that we did not do. And the people are running around in this community still committing crime.
That's right.
And it's sad. And if I had the strength, I would buy a tent and park out here and live out here until those guys come home.
That's right.
That's right. I'm being that tent with you, brother. I got a family
Being that tent together.
Just please do the right thing. That's all. It's simple. Put it past. Let's go. Put it past. This is a grave injustice. Put it past and let those 2 guys go. There's 2 guys still in there. Benson Davis, John Edwards, for crimes they didn't commit. Just imagine how that would feel. They're in there for crimes they didn't commit, and it should be over with. It's time to put that to rest.
Put it to rest.
It's time. And let's
right,
move on. All right, Lenny. Next up, Lenny Edwards.
Lenny Edwards. I did 29 years and 4 months for a crime I had absolutely nothing to do with. I went in prison at 18, came out at 48. It's hard to even talk about what I went through.
Take your time, bro.
You just can't explain it. We just hope that, right now, there's been a lot of people put a lot of work in on this case, and I'm hoping that, justice comes now. I mean, it's late, but we just hope that, and it's happening too much. It happens too much, and nothing ever changed in the system. It's a bunch of guys out here did time for stuff they didn't do, and some people lucky to get out, some people lucky to get compensated, but the system's still doing the same thing
over and over.
Nobody is ever, anything else happened. It's investigations,
no accountability.
It's no accountability, and we hope that now that people see this, it's serious. It's basically we was kidnapped and held hostage.
Kidnapped. That's right.
And there's no other way to put it. There's no other way to put it. We just kidnapped, held hostage, and
falsely convicted.
In the middle of, I don't know if it's a political game or what, but we hope that now, people see it and know, it's out there. There's websites you can look at and just look at the case for yourself, and somebody hear this and that can make some decisions and end this for us.
What do we want?
Yeah.
And that's what we're hoping for. My bad. I just removed myself. That's what we're hoping for doing this investigation. Is we are hoping that, Tony Sillo has a change of heart. Maybe Gino Italiano has a change of heart. Richard Zendes has a change of heart. Maybe they actually worry about if they get hit by a bus tomorrow, go in heaven. God doesn't like liars. God doesn't like people that harm others. God, and I don't want to make this about God, but I don't know how you all live with yourselves. How you have a soul. And 2 people deserve justice. One person whose murder has been open for 35 years. And it's pretty. Willie Mincy asks about Floyd Epps during the first interview. No one had told him that he was dead. Why are you asking about Floyd? Why are you concerned? But then these guys have the gall, Gino Italiano and Rich Resendez have the gall to go in the paper and say that these men are 100% guilty. Gino Italiano was in that interview. He's the one that said, he's the detective said, guns, drugs, taken away from the locals, ran out the Detroit boys. Now what are we going to do to the New York boys? Using this woman who was addicted to crack cocaine at the time, and more than likely her brother, who addicted to crack cocaine at the time, using them, and, you know, a crime that I think he committed, I believe he allegedly committed. I believe he did. I believe based on the evidence he did. Allowing that to go to the wayside. This guy's crimes to go to the wayside because he wants to pin a murder investigation on 4 boys because they were selling crack in their territory. And this is the police. I don't know how you live with yourselves. No conscience. I'd be worried about your eternal. I'm just worried about your eternal. You think you're gonna? This is nothing. Stay focused, Lorain County. We will be back tomorrow with Willie Mincy's interview, where she tells us more about White Boy Jeff, the witness, and tells us more about that car that, you know, we all should be interested in, and who was the owner of that car. You all have a good night, and yeah, I'll see you all soon. And stay focused, Lorain County. Stay focused, Ohio, and beyond. Thank you for joining me today on Mean Street. I hope you enjoyed the show. I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider supporting our work and supporting my effort. You can support directly underneath at the Spotify donations, or you can directly give a donation at paypal.me/Mean Street, Ohio. Any donation received will help me continue to provide news to you and everyone else across Ohio and beyond. I love what I do, and I just hope to continue to do it. Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me today on Mean Street.